again. In case you series, so I'm going to loop and come down to the ground. I'm going to take my band, loop over my foot, pull, and get a good loop because I want that band to be good and tight. From here, I'm just going to lay, and as I lay, I'm going to force that band out nice and straight. So the first movement I'm going to do is just circles. I'm going to do 15 to 20 circles one direction, and then I'll switch and go the other direction with it. What this is doing is it's also pushing that femur into the hip socket where it needs to be and allowing it to warm up inside that joint. So after I get those, the next one I'm going to switch to is just called punters. I'm just going to come straight up. So again, while I'm warming that hip up, it's also allowing me to stretch that hamstring as well. After I get there, while that femur is pressed into the joint, just like I need to on my squat, I'm going to rotate out, and now I'm going to allow that leg to go out at an angle. Again, 15-20 there. From there, I'm just going to come up. I'm going to take it off the back of my neck, but what I'm going to do is keep it on my foot. I'm going to turn to my opposite side, bend my leg, droop it up over my shoulder, pull, hold for about 5 seconds, release. Pull again, release. All that's going to do is I'm going to be using that band to stretch out the quad and the hip flexor area. Again, with that one, since you're not doing repetitions on that one, we're only going to need to do probably about 5 or 6 of those. Again, you're going to pull, hold for about 5 seconds at the top, relax for about 3 seconds, and then repeat. After that, I'll switch over to do my other leg, then I'm good to go on my squats and my deadlifts. The very last thing I want to go over with everybody is I want to show everybody a cool little trick that we can also do with our Spud Ink Compression Mummy Band. So this is really good for a lot of CrossFitters, a lot of runners, and even your average day person. We don't realize how much impact we get on our ankles and on our knee as well. It's really easy for that knee joint to get out of alignment. Our knee joint should be constantly rotating in this position here. But every once in a while, just from normal everyday wear and tear, if you're a CrossFitter, doing a lot of box jumps, doing a lot of other sprinting, this and that, what happens is that tibia will either rotate outward, rotate inward, and then the joint gets compressed on top of itself. And so now we get this motion going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset my tibia while using the using the resistance band to pull that joint out. But that's fine, but I have to figure out how to get that joint from here to here. That's where our Spud Ink Compression Mummy Band is going to come in handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start down low by wrapping my band around some kind of post. It can be either a leg on your rack, weight tree, something like that. While I'm here, I'll go ahead and stick my foot in. You can take shoes off, leave them on if you want. Then I'm going to cross my band to where it sits on the outside of my foot. From there, I'm going to stretch back just a little bit. I'm going to keep my leg up just a tad so that I can wrap my knee. From here, I'm going to start down low, right at the patella. Ooh, leg's a little sweaty. And from there, I'm just going to do a simple compression wrap going all the way up the knee. Getting it nice and snug, really focusing on that knee joint itself, because that's where I want it to be the tightest to actually compress that joint. Once I get a little ways up the knee, I don't have to go really far up the knee. I'll go ahead and pull my slack, tuck my tail, and good. From there, now that I have the knee compressed, I'm going to let that band assist me by pulling. I'm just going to keep going back until I have a lot of pressure. I can really feel that band pulling on the leg. From here comes the important part. I have to reset that tibia. I have to manipulate that leg But what I'm going to do to allow that knee to start gapping is I'm going to flex my quad. So every time I go to twist, you'll see me flex my quad. All I'll do is I'll start going outward, and then I'll switch to going inward. So I'll grab, flex the quad, and turn. And I'm going to give just a little bit of a push into that band as well. I'll move a couple times that way, then I'll start coming to the inside. Again, every time I grab and turn, I'm going to flex that quad to allow that knee to gap out. So just simple. One thing that you'll notice, if you're doing it right and you have the right amount of compression, as you're flexing and turning, look at your kneecap, you'll actually see it move. If you don't see it moving, you need to probably re-wrap your leg, get a little bit more compression on it. And just keep going. And then after that, I always end with, I'll go ahead, I'll take my band off, and I'll just sit for about 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds, get a little bit of ischemia going on there. And then I'll unwrap. And just like we've talked in the elbow video and a few other things, as soon as I unwrap, you're going to instantly start seeing everything right here turn red, helping with the healing process. And that is it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over to Dale and Spud, and they're going to go over a few ways that you guys can use the bands to do a little bit of overload training on things like squat and deadlift.
Oh! Hey, what's going on, Spud? Here, and we got Dale. We're just going to talk a little bit about overload today. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but we're going to go over some basic principles and help you understand it a little bit better. I always like things really simple, so I like to go over it and help you guys understand a little bit better. The idea of the band, obviously, is you're adding tension as you go up through a movement. If you want to think about it from another perspective, when Dale's in the bottom down here, these are his porous levers. As Dale stands up through a lift, his levers are going to get better. He's going to be able to use more muscle. He's going to be able to add more muscle to it and more speed to it. More power. Okay.
We had basically everything up until I said pause, so.
Okay.